Hello YouTubers, Reloading Bench back with you once again. I don't know that this will make it up to the channel. This is more for my documentation processes or process when I'm taking this apart to make sure, you know, things go back the way I think they should. This part not so complicated, and the reason I'm pulling the caliper out here is because this hole looks bigger than this hole, and I believe that this particular version of the saw, or these parts, 5.57, had a taper pin instead of a roll pin. And yes, so we will pound that out this way, hopefully, and then take this apart. And my focus is on cleaning these parts on the saw components, cleaning this stuff up, and then obviously cleaning this off. Different process. This will be a combination of more aggressive cleaning because it's steel and can take that, as opposed to, you know, this stuff that's painted. So the painted surfaces will get a cleaning like with a you know, maybe a simple green or something, and anything along these lines would get not necessarily wire wheeled, simply because I don't want to be too aggressive on it. So maybe some steel wool, something. This will look better. This will look much better, and this will look really much better when I'm done cleaning. So off to the violent punching later. All right, that was not too difficult. I did put some Kroll in there, let it set for a little bit. Forgot to note that there's a pin in here, so I'm going to call this taper pin the inside taper pin, and this will be the outside taper pin. And this is the hammer I used, and this is the punch. You can even see the oil on the punch. Not difficult, but I've also read that some people would take these apart, punch the pin out while it's in the saw, you know, still assembled, so they could remove this. I probably wouldn't do that personally, because the amount of effort to pop that pin, and you can see the difference in the steel, there was a little bit of effort involved in that. So I'm debating whether to leave this in the cast, because I don't want to damage anything, whereas this was supported right here. There's less support right here, so I'm debating. I'll probably tap this a few times, see how easily it comes out, and I will keep all of these parts together in the inside pin. Camera probably won't pick this up, but I cleaned this off with a wire brush, because it looks like I want to say the pin was driven in from this end, again, because clearly this is much larger than this. So I'm going to start tapping from here and see if that moves this. This is an interesting looking pin with the button cap on it. Don't know what to say there, but I thought, oh, I'll just leave it in, but for whatever reason, this is not coming out. So I don't know what is keeping this in. So methinks that by taking this off, it comes out this way, because there's clearly something in here preventing it from going. But that doesn't make sense either, because it has to come out here as well. So I really don't know, unless there's something on the other side that I'm missing. Nope, not seeing anything. So I think I'll drive this pin like this, so I'm not banging against the cast. That's what methinks. Again, not sure what I'm doing here, so we'll see. That pin came out, you know, relatively easy. I guess that's a relative term. And I went to pull this off, and it wouldn't pull off, but then I started to turn it, and it did turn. So I want to see what want to see what we see. All right, so I'm going to keep all this together. And I'm hoping, there's bullets. There's some of the bullets. I think that might have been keeping it from, because I've seen that on the other one. I will take a picture of that and then try and get this out. But I need the camera out of the way. All right, so removing what I call the brass bullets and all the other hardware, looks like this can slide out in potentially either direction. Okay. All right, so that is disassembled. Disassembled, we have the outside part, we have the inside parts, and then we will begin cleaning. Not sure how I'm going to approach this one yet. Yuck. All right, I'll call this a quickie clean and buff. I can't remember what the name of this this puppy is right off the top of my head. There was a lot of gunk in here that required. I have an old video on this where I take these dowels and sharpen them. These are like when you get a taffy apple, and then I would just clean them, let it dry, and they're great for in the shop because wood is, wood gives and it's non-destructive, but it's great for getting in crevices, especially gun clean. That's why I keep all the popsicle sticks and such. But this nut cleaned up quite nice. The button roll pin did a little clean and quick buff. Didn't want to take too much there. I always get nervous with small pieces on the buffer because I don't want to clamp this with like any type of vice grip or plier because it'll mar it. And then Murphy's Law says the other side of it is it will, like with these bullets, I wipe them clean, but I'm not going to buff them. And this is from the turning, because holding on to something like this, that's going to shoot off into Never Never Land to never be seen again. And it'll go under the heaviest, most immobile object in the garage. Again, this is another taper button. This one, I'm going to say not so much a button, but this, it just mushrooms out when they tapped it in. So again, this will get a final clean once. Let's see, which is the bigger end. This is the smaller end. So it will go in like that. And I'm guessing both of these are the exact same because there would be no economical advantage to making parts different in size. And then this particular I don't know what to call this, a stop piece, a giant washer, a whatever it's called. Again, not too concerned with the names of the pieces. If it was my profession and this is what I did full-time, maybe. This cleaned up okay. Again, a quickie. The only thing that's going to be showing is, that, which will look quite nice compared to how it did look. The inside will be covered, obviously, by the cast pieces, and then I'll probably clean this up a little bit better. I think it goes this way. I can't remember. I'll have to look at the video. That's why I like taking a video of what I'm doing, video and pictures, because it's very easy to take stuff apart and then get disoriented and then not know exactly how to put it back together again. These cleaned up, these being both sides on the top, cleaned up really nicely. The brass brush on the drill at the lowest speed, 600 RPM, does a really nice job and doesn't scar the steel. because this is what was in there from a gazillion years ago. So the only thing left to do, again, would be final cleaning buff and painting. So I'm debating, you know, once I clean these, I'm debating if I need to prime or not. So please jump in with your 2 cents on whether or not to prime. Again, it needs a really, really good cleaning to get all the stuff off. But, you know, there's little spots that are bare. And again, it's a beast of a machine. This isn't meant to be a museum piece. This is meant to be a tool in the shop. So, you know, at what level do I say good enough? So I'm debating. I did pick up primer, ordered primer, Rust-Oleum heavy rust primer, especially for the base, which I'll show you here in a second, because that base is just, woo! I don't know if I'm going to put it in the sandblasting or the bead blasting cabinet, Redzilla, or just spray over it as is, because, you know, the rust is, you know, it's there, it's non-destructive. Rust-Oleum should stop the rust. But, you know, those of you who have done this or who are better at it than I am, please jump in with comments and or suggestions later. And here is the base. It is, it's a tad rusty. Tad rusty. So, debating how I'm going to deal with that. Alright, I'm thinking this is another me video. Probably won't get published. I'm going to take the yoke apart. It looks like we've got 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece, 4 piece, and then where the worm gear is. So the brass bullets are already out in the bag because those came out when I took the handle off. Things to note, I took measurements. These are the stops for 45, and there's another one on this side for 90. The left side and the right side are both different in terms of where the bolts, and then I'm going to say pins, because it looks like, you know, when you look at this side, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pins, and I want to say, I don't know if they're stuck on here or all the pins come out, because you can see them here. I mean, they're recessed here and here, and they're higher up here and here. So I don't know if when I take this off, if the pins are part of this or if the pins are, you know, by themselves. Same thing on this side. You know, you've got 2 bolts, nuts and bolts, and then you've got 2 sets. You've got 2 pins on the outside, and then you have 2 more. So a total of 4 pins, but again, only 2 are visible. So, you know, I'm thinking 2 are from this and 2 are from the main part of the yoke. And of course, my mat has to move around. I took measurements of this because I don't know if this floats. The bullets are the same size, but I believe, and I'll verify this because, you know, there's a pin there. What else? Pin there. There's a key in here. Pin up top. So let's start cleaning, because I'm going to guess we've got more taper action going. So I will measure this one as well as the pin here. It's already looking like this is the smaller side. We've got a hex over here, and again, hex over here. So I guess this doesn't really matter where this goes. This protrudes, you know, that much. And again, we've got another taper pin here. And it looks like it's going to drive this way. So if this is the large side, and actually I will measure. So I'm thinking that both sides are equal, meaning it's the same taper pin, even though we'll put them in different bags, but the same side is the large side and the same side is the small side. That's what would make sense to me. I didn't create this, so I don't know. I didn't build it. And here's the other side of that pin. So let me get the caliper and we'll measure that. And we'll also decide which side we're coming in on. So it looks like I'm going to say that's 0.226 inches. That looks about the same. Okay, that's 0.242. And that's 0.241242. So this is the larger opening. That is the smaller. So we will drive this out from the smaller. And we're going to put a little dot there to tell me that's how we're driving. And then I'm going to flip this over. Actually, I'll check this one while I'm right here. That one is 0.268. I can clearly see this is bigger. 0.294-ish. So we will be driving from this side. Driving from the smaller to the bigger. So we'll put a little dot right there, because this will all get repainted anyway. All right, I think that's all I need. I'm thinking that I should take this out first, then take these two sides off, because I don't think unbolting this will allow me to pull that off. At least that's what I'm thinking. But I could be wrong. All right, that's it for, I guess, documentation processes, orientation documentation. Hopefully when I'm done, this will move a lot easier. We'll see.